Welcome to Medellin and Comuna 13, also known as San Javier, located on the west hand side of the city. Astronomical homicide rates and once owned and controlled by Pablo Escobar himself. However, in 2002, Project Orion saw 1,000 military parachute coming by cars, coming with tanks and overthrow the cartel in the area in an absolute battle. 9 people died, including 3 children. And after this, the people of the area, to show their discontent with the anger, the violence, everything going on, started to express themselves with the street art and reinvented the area as the Shoreditch of Medellin, or so I am told. If you enjoy what you see, if you have any questions, bang it in the old comments down below. Whilst you're down there, hit that subscribe button. Still en route to 3K subs, and let's go and check it out, baby. They say you learn something new every day, and already today, the knowledge is absolutely flying from Ezekiel, our tour guide, into the old brains. We're just flying about the main little squares, little avenues now as we speak, just waiting for a street dance performance, I believe. So I thought I'd just bestow some of that knowledge upon yourselves. So Project Orion that I discussed a little bit earlier, I thought killed 9 people, actually 3,000. Apparently with absolute animosity, absolute carnage. He said they had 2 tanks blowing up buildings, and then they refused to let any people go to hospital and stuff like that. So they ended up in a surrender. So yeah, that is obviously pretty bloody loose. Other thing we've learned, just been to Café Colombia, lovely setup, super friendly people in there, an amazing coffee. I'm not a coffee connoisseur, however, I do know the coffee in Colombia, I'm going to put it out there, I think it's the best coffee I've ever had. Absolutely unbelievable. Also learned, do you know what I mean? There's 4 million people live, obviously, in Medellin. 300,000 people live in San Javier and obviously around the, obviously, Comuna 13 area itself. But yeah, the coffee, what did we learn in there? That yellow and green beans, you do not want to be harvesting those. They're the ones that taste absolutely horrid. So probably Nescafe, probably whipping up a few of those. You want to wait till they turn red. That's when they harvest them by hand up in the hills and then export them. There is one exception, which is called bourbon. I'm pretty sure like the whiskey or brandy. That shows my whiskey and brandy knowledge. But what they do with that one, it actually turns just a really light pink from yellow, and it gives it a rum flavour, even though there's no alcohol in it. So again, just little pearls of wisdom. You know what I mean? And we're not huge ones for going on tours and stuff like that. I think it's a little bit touristy. We're just waiting for a street dance performance now, so I imagine that's going to be pretty good. We'll see, we'll see how that goes on. But in terms of this tour, it is good to get like really in-depth information and knowledge. I'm just going to spin you around, and obviously coming around here, as I said, throughout South America and Colombia so far, we've not had any problems anywhere we've been. But again, I guess if you wanted to take an added measure, so you're absolutely fine, again, this would be a thing to do. We paid like £13, comes with coffee, a little sweet treat as well. When you get off the bus in San Javier, hopefully I'm pronouncing that right, they take you to like this little stall. It's only like 1,000 pesos anyway, but you can get any sweet treat you want. We had M on for the review. It was basically like a donut, and you just fill it with as much caramel as you want. So I was just absolutely caking it in there. But you wanted something a little bit more savoury. There is one which was like, it looked like a pancake, and then on top there was like, it looked like a block of feta, block of cheese. So yeah, we've been exploring, delving, diving, and yeah, we're just in the absolute mixing now, as always. Any questions, bang it in the old comments. Anything else of note, your boy will be back, baby.
Place, you know, here is very common to people around the world. Coast, Barranquilla, Santa Marta, places like that. ¿Cómo va? ¿De qué?
More wisdom, knowledge, information, energy to bestow. Just had a little wander around where our Airbnb is. I took loads of videos in Comuna 13, super safe, as I'll discuss in a short second, but they were literally pumping music everywhere. So your boy didn't want to get copyrighted. Find out there were 4 different groups fighting there: the liberals, the government, the mercenaries, and the cartel, of course. In terms of the area, heard some mad stuff about like the killings that used to go on. They used to like execute people on like the basketball court where there's like kids playing now and stuff. So it sounds like a pretty mental history. And I'm going to talk in like tomorrow's video. I've recorded 2 videos today because we also went to like the Museo de Cartel, the Cartel Museum basically, which for me, I'm not normally like, I'm going to talk about this more in the video tomorrow, but ultimately it's pretty moving and pretty, I don't know if the word, like disturbing, uncomfortable in a good way. Makes you think, you know what, sometimes we think, oh, we've got the worst situation in life, when actually some people have had a absolutely terrible environment. But more of that tomorrow, more about Comuna 13, crazy place. Loads of people online, if you're wondering like, is it safe or not, gracias, it is super safe. Like if anything, I actually think it's really touristy. We went to a few other areas and to be honest, it is, like I say, super safe. They've actually built escalators so you can kind of go up the mountain through all the buildings to cater for the tourists. Didn't feel uncomfortable once. There's no kind of like pressure. Loads of people trying to sell stuff like drinks, cool bars, some of the craziest drinks and cocktails I've ever seen. But not in a way where you think, oh, I'd be worried about walking around or anything like that. The only slight thing you might think on that is just because of how busy it is. So if you do go there, obviously don't have stuff like in your pockets, or if you are going to have your phone or camera out, so you've got a good hold of it. But it's a place just filled with buzz, filled with energy. I thought it was absolutely class, to be fair. Normally I hate things which I think, oh, they're really touristy or whatever, but you kind of walk all the way up, I'm going to say the hill, the mountain, and it's just filled with a lot better art than I've seen in some museums and galleries that we've been to in the recent months and years. So all the stuff in there is super flair. Like all the murals on the wall, there's people like doing like spray painting graffiti live in front of you. There's like a bit of a big square that kind of opens up, I'd say about halfway up the mountain, which is active. Again, there's music pumping, there's different galleries you can go into. There's like this neon place as well. It's just absolutely quality. They did have like one of like the slingshots. So as you go kind of like half or 3/4 away up the mountain, there's somebody getting strapped in to one of the slingshots. I think that is a little bit loose for my liking. I imagine health and safety is pretty low. Senior Shady would be we're not risk assessing that one. Again, sick energy, sick buzz, would highly recommend. And one of the other cool things I thought is that obviously the higher you get up, what does that mean? It means you get the delicious viewpoints. So the views over the entirety of Medellin, the city, are absolutely majestic. The guy who's like running our tour was telling us that they basically use a lot of that colour, like that stony colour, because that's like the cheapest material to use here. So you find in the less affluent areas, hopefully that's a politically correct term to use, that's what you find, and obviously they use all that terracing and going up the mountain because, like I say, uses less land and costs them less money. But for me, the environment, the buzz, the people there, super friendly. I thought it was absolutely brilliant. And as you kind of work your way up, you get to like the top point where a road kind of connects, and we stopped there as part of our trip. There was you got a drink as well, so everyone a little beer wari, a little cerveza. Even the king was on a beer, things you absolutely love to see. We just sat out, looking all over Medellin. So yeah, for me, phenomenal. So to summarise, buzzing place, silly energy. Tour was definitely worth it. I think it was like £13 in total, and they pick you up, obviously take you there on the tube. You go up the Teleferico, get a view over the area, and then obviously you get the bus up to Comuna 13. You go to like a coffee tasting. Do not be fooled, it's not a coffee tasting. You get a shot of espresso, which was absolutely terrible. No, it wasn't terrible, to be fair. I'm not a huge espresso fan. Get a bit of leche, get a bit of milk in, and then we can talk. And then yeah, obviously it included a beer at the end. So, and it included a little sweet treat. Obviously I didn't have it because I wasn't too sure on what it was cooked in. So the old nuts and stuff, but for me, good tour, silly energy, good people. Would definitely recommend Comuna 13. If you want to find out like a different side of Medellin, Colombia, I'm going to record another video after this because we've just been to some absolutely crazy places that I've never walked through a place with. Like, I've been some pretty loose places traveling in the UK and I've never seen as many, 1, homeless people, and 2, people on some extraterrestrial substances in one place, like absolutely crazy. So going to talk a little bit about that tomorrow. Not necessarily a good or bad thing, but I think it's good to kind of document the places I go to, speak honestly about them, so when people do come here, they have a good understanding of what life will be like. But for me, Comuna 13, if anything, is more on the touristy side. Super safe, good drinks, good energy, good vibes. And now we're just yapping. So if you do have any other questions, bang it in the old comments whilst down there. Hit that subscribe button. Still en route to 3K subs. I'll see you tomorrow, baby. Remember to share. He's always cooking. Let's get it.